President Trump recently named Baltimore City as one place where crime is out of control.
But city and state leaders are doubling down, saying we are making progress against violent crime and that we don't need the National Guard. Tara Lynch brings us the latest on the war of words across the political aisle.
Donald Trump, if you are not willing to walk our communities, keep our name out of your mouth.
Thursday morning, Governor Wes Moore made some of his strongest remarks toward President Trump yet, telling the president if he isn't willing to work with Baltimore and Maryland, don't say anything at all. The governor also invited the president to the city for a public safety walk in September. Earlier this month, Trump criticized Baltimore as he deployed the National Guard to D.C.
And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone.
This is a community that does not look at Baltimore like a punchline. If you are not willing to be part of the solution, keep our names out of your mouth.
In response, the Maryland Freedom Caucus director was critical of the governor on social media. The caucus issued a follow-up statement saying the governor, in his best Will Smith impression, told the president 3 separate times to keep Baltimore's name out of his mouth while inviting him to the same city. The state Democratic Party called the social media post disgusting and said the caucus director resorted to racist name-calling of America's only sitting black governor. Meanwhile, community organizations like We Are Us are boots on the ground working in tandem with city leaders to drive down crime while uplifting neighborhoods.
People going to keep talking. It's good that we hear it, but then we just got to keep working and working hard and serving hard.
I feel though it's safe because the violence is decreasing.
I feel safe, particularly myself. I feel safe for my children too. I just feel like they need more programs for the children.
And their message to people who doubt Baltimore?
You have to know Baltimore and watch it evolve.
Come visit and see first before judging it.
In the back and forth between Washington and Annapolis, the White House now weighing in, saying that Washington, D.C. is safer since President Trump deployed the National Guard. A spokesperson said, quote, perhaps Governor Moore should take a page out of the president's playbook to stop the rampant crime in Baltimore. Governor Wes Moore has made it very clear he will not deploy Maryland's National Guard to combat crime in Baltimore. For now, reporting on your corner in Cherry Hill, Tara Lynch, WJZ.
And last night, Mayor Brandon Scott joined WJZ News at 11 exclusively to give his thoughts on all of this.
Alexa Villa is on your corner now at City Hall with more on his response. Alexis, this situation is not going quietly.
Well, yes, and Mayor Brandon Scott is echoing Governor Wes Moore's response to President Donald Trump, saying that the National Guard does not need to be sent here to deter crime. Scott says there are several actions Trump could take instead, rather than bad-mouthing Baltimore. Now, Scott says that when it comes to this crime, between the comprehensive prevention plan and along with the partnerships that between the police and agencies like the FBI, DEA, and ATF, these are the main reasons why the city is seeing a decline in crime. According to the Baltimore Police Department, homicides are down by nearly 29%, and non-fatal shootings are down by 19%. Scott made it clear to WJZ that he does not want to see the National Guard here in Baltimore, as he says it will not deter crime. Scott says he would like to see the president bring in more resources for the city's law enforcement agencies without diverting their attention from investigative work that these agencies are doing with the police department. He also wants to see millions of dollars in federal grant funds to be reinstated to support the city's intervention programs and treatment centers. The mayor spoke exclusively with WJZ last night during our 11 p.m. newscast.
We appreciate your time tonight. Among those commitments are additional resources for the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, the field offices in Baltimore. You're calling on President Trump to fulfill these. Now, 2 things that were not mentioned here, National Guard and additional funding for Baltimore police. Why is that?
Whether the president comes to Baltimore or not, we want to see those resources, and we also want to see those public safety grants that they cut reinstated. We want to see him say, like many mayors have said, that there needs to be an outright ban on ghost guns and these Glock switches that are terrorizing communities across the country.
And the White House says that Baltimore is the 4th most dangerous place in the country. But Mayor Brandon Scott says that progress should not be overlooked, and said this, that as Baltimore is experiencing its safest period in more than 50 years. I'm Alexis Davila on your corner for WJZ.